Hey guys, welcome into the Mile High Football Podcast. Your host, Mark Schlereth here. And I tell you what, today, August 11th, Friday, the first day of preseason football with your Denver Broncos and Sean Payton as the head coach. And you know, last year was such a debacle. Without playing any starters, Sean Payton has basically come out and said, hey, man, we're going to play our starters 15 to 20 plays, somewhere in there. And I couldn't, for one, be more excited that these players are going to get a chance to go out there and operate, to go out there and do, you know, have some ability to go out there and show what they've been working on for the last several weeks. You know, early in camp, the offense was way behind the defense, and everybody was up in arms. And I kept telling people, just calm down, relax. That's the way it's supposed to be. Games create an offense, or games create an opportunity for an offense to have success. Practice doesn't. Practice is just running plays for the sake of running plays. When you play in a game, you're running an offense. You're calling an offense. You're not just calling plays. So I expect the operation to be much better than it was last year. I expect the execution to be much better than it was last year. And that's really ultimately what you're looking for. I want to see energy. I want to see pace. I want to see execution. And gosh, wouldn't it be nice to see Russell Wilson in this offense execute a drive and punch it in the end zone? That would just be, to me, glorious. And that's what you're looking for. You know, I always think, and I always say this about the preseason, the games don't count, right? The scores don't matter. The games don't count, but they do matter. The games matter. How you prepare, how you go out and execute, how you go out and play, the energy with which you play. Because the preseason, let's be honest, is hard for a lot of positions to get fired up when it comes to the way the game is being played, right? Because it's the preseason. You understand that they don't count for anything. You understand that, you know, you're working on plays. You're not putting a game plan in. You know, it's very, very vanilla, all those things. But I always thought about the preseason this way as a player. I wanted to go out and make sure that my opponent realized that if they get us in the regular season or in the playoffs, if it's an NFC team and I'm playing here in the AFC, if they get us in the playoffs, we're going to open a can of whoop-ass on you. And that's what I wanted them to feel like, hey, man, they're in this thing for real. They're putting it together. And I just wanted to make sure it's kind of like a dog marking its territory. I want to make sure they knew that if they played us at any time during the regular season or the postseason, that they were in for a, you know, all-day sucker, that type of thing. So that part of the preseason is legit to me. The other part that I think is real legit is obviously after the starters are out, how does your second team compete? How do they play? How does your second team execute? I think a lot of people look at that second team and that third team that come out there, and they just kind of throw that stuff on the back burner. They're like, oh, well, it's our second team. So our second team got beats. Who cares? It's second teamers. Well, let's face it, in today's NFL, there's a lot of injuries. The concussion protocol is different, so you have to sit out games. That second team is important, because some of those second-team players are going to become starters during the course of the regular season. And so I really want to see those guys go out there, even in a simplified, watered-down kind of game where there's no real game planning and you're really got a much shorter menu than you would normally have in a regular season game. I want to see those guys go out there and play and execute well. But the biggest thing for me is, you know, this organization is under new management. And that new management is going to play its starters. That new management is going to, going to execute, get the plays in on time, give the offense an opportunity to do well, and then just to continue to see what Vance Joseph's defense looks like. And I'll tell you this, and I don't think you'll see this in the preseason, but Vance Joseph is always one of the top three guys when it comes to bringing pressure. What does that mean? Well, if you're going to bring pressure, that means there's got to be a lot of man-to-man coverage situations. And so I want to see that pressure. I don't know if we'll see it tonight, but I want to see that pressure. I want to see, our guys put on islands. Like Pat Surtain, you've been rated as the number one corner in football. People talking about you, general managers talking about you, how good you are. That's awesome. But you'll be put to the test in this defense because you'll be playing the Patrick Peterson role, if you will. back in the Arizona days, the man-to-man cover guy. And we're gonna see. We're fixing to find out. So really great things going on right now with the preseason. Sit back, relax, enjoy. We'll talk about it Monday morning on Schlereth and Evans. Make sure you tune in. But preseason football is here. The regular season is just a stone's throw away. So stay tuned. You're going to love it. Hey, for everybody involved in the Mile High Football Podcast, we appreciate you, and we appreciate you guys listening.